Sweet butternut. Oh, my butternut. All right, now since we have one of the largest cutting bandsaws in Canada, wait, let me lend a helping hand here.
Sorry.
Here we are, sir. We got a social distance. Oh no!
Thank you.
We do sawmilling for outside clients, especially Sal Pasoni. Is that how we say the
Pachoni.
Pachoni.
Yep.
I don't know how to say it. Now I finally know how to say it. He gets some really killer logs from down in the city, Toronto, Oakville, all down there, and we lend a little helping hand, and we cut up some of the big ones. He's also probably the biggest wood nerd that I know. Would you agree?
Yes, he is.
This is his father.
He's a huge wood nerd.
He is the biggest wood nerd ever, so I'm sure this isn't just some butternut, it's some sort of hybrid mixture, XYZ, I don't know. Either way, there's some beautiful lumber in here. We're gonna be cutting it up probably for the next Slabber Day Saturday video. So hopefully we can get it out of this trailer and onto our sawmill. Look at the size of this thing. Sweet butternut.
All right guys, Monday morning, a new week, more projects going on. So we're at the point of that table we're doing with the customer's own wood, where we're building a custom base for them. So these are the cutoffs from their slabs, and it actually worked out perfect. The style of base they're getting, it's unique. We'll leave it that way. We'll post a picture up there. But what we've done here is, these are our templates we made up for it. So we got our cross stretcher pieces. Now there's gonna be 2 of those in this design. And we have our vertical upright legs. So we only did 1 template because it's all 4 are the same. So the way it lines up actually is similar to this. Got that one there, and obviously we bring that one to the other side. And there's 2 legs set up like that, and they're gonna be crossing each other. And when it's all assembled and everything and mounted to the table. Now, what we've had to do, and this worked out great because this enables us to have minimal waste to the project. With our templates, we're gonna rough out where our pieces are gonna go. So we've just traced it with marker. So we have all our pieces accounted for. On the top of the legs, we're gonna be putting a metal flat bar so that we can mount it to the table, and so that's super stable. Now the one thing to take account for when we're laying this all out is we want the design to kind of flow. Being the live edge walnut, you always have your sap on the outside, you got your heartwood on the inside. So if you look at all the details, all of the vertical legs, they've got the sapwood on the tips of the legs. Also for the stretcher going across, it's laid out as well. Sapwood is gonna come on the tips. You match it there. That's gonna enable the base to really flow with the style. You've really considered all the details of the wood.
Hey everybody, it's Paul coming at you with some behind the scenes commentary. Looks like Justin did a fantastic job on that walnut base. Now Troy is working some of our ancient Greek olive wood. These are cookies that we actually sliced up on one of our Slabber Day Saturday videos, and we're cleaning them up through the wide belt sander. We're going to surface them flat and get them nice and sanded. And these are all available through our dealers. Most of these went to Rob at Concept 13 in Toronto. So make sure you check them out. You can see them online at concept13.ca.
All right guys, so we had a little bit of troubleshooting this morning. We're cutting out some C-channel jigs to send down to Concept 13, where Rob sells them there. We ran the sheet. Everything was perfectly square going this way. Then when we looked at it, we noticed the distance from the end to our first slot was different at this point than the end slot. There's a little bit of a variance in there. So after some troubleshooting, the actual rail itself, it was actually off. So you can see we fixed it. You can see kind of this point to this point is very similar to the other side now. Whereas before, as you'd see in the footage, all we had to do, we loosened the spring, which is the tensioner, which that enables the gear to be pushed up into our rail guide. Once we loosened the pivot point, literally it just moved right to the spot it needs to be. Tighten everything back up, we're good to go.
So as you can see, we do many different things here in the shop. And one thing we use our Avid CNC for is to create our C-channel jigs. So if you didn't already know, or if you haven't seen, we produce table stiffeners that go in the underside of tables or countertops that just are in negotiation with helping them stay flat throughout the many years. These are jigs which help you install the C-channel. It's very simple that you can use this jig, lay it down on your table, countertop, clamp it down, and we can use a 1/2-inch brass bushing with a 1/4-inch spiral bit and a router, and we just follow along those lines and you're gonna have a perfect fit for your C-channel. And here we go, we're up to the Wood-Mizer sawmill, sawing up some Wormy Soft Maple, also called Ambrosia Maple. Now we received 2 full log trucks of this material, and it was all from a development site. It's not the most expensive wood out there, but you know what? It is pretty darn beautiful, so we try to use every piece. And here we're sawing 5/4 walnut, so by the time we're surfaced flat and dried, we're gonna be around 1 inch. Now most of this will get used for cheese boards and that type of stuff.
Hey guys, sorry about the noise. We've got lots going on right now. Just want to show you what we're doing with this base. This was a custom base we got done for a client who wanted caster wheels installed on their campfire base. So the guys at Taylor did a great job. They got it all done. This table is kind of particular. Being the river table, we have the epoxy going through the middle. This one in particular is translucent, so you can see through it. So what we're trying to avoid is, if you look here, we've got our mounting holes at the end, but it's right in the middle of the epoxy. And because it's translucent, you will see those mounting holes on the end. So we're trying to stay away from it. So we've got a solution where we got some flat bar. We're adding it to the end. We're gonna have holes at this end, so we get solid mounting further down the table, so it's not all focused in the middle. And we're avoiding all these inserts in the epoxy. So we're gonna weld this on, we're gonna drill some holes, put our inserts in, and it's gonna be perfect for the customer. So quick little add-on we're doing, but it's necessary. All right, and right here is our base going for that customer table in Guelph. Everything's fabricated, as you can see, it's all assembled. But what we got to do now is you can see there's obviously some glue squeeze out here and some things we got to clean up. So this is going to go through final sanding as well. We're going to get the finish on it. And then all our inserts, we got to do that as well actually. So we're going to be doing some inserting into the bottom of the table as well. But this thing's coming along awesome. It's really cool that we get to do work like this. We don't get to do it a lot often anymore. But it's really, really fun when we do get a project like this.
We have a nice order for our Shou Sugi Ban siding. That's the Japanese style burnt wood. And then we then brush it, shiplap it, do all sorts of cool stuff. Anyways, it's a beautiful looking siding. We're cutting 4/4, which is 1 inch, and 8¼ inch wide material, about 8 foot long. And for the customer to have a bit of extra, we need 45 pieces like that. So we've kind of put a bunch of larch logs, that's the species we're using, and we're going to make some sawdust. Sweet, let's do it. Troy has been at it super quick, so you'll be able to follow along the entire process of what we just sawmilled. We're going to vacuum dry it, so about the end of next week, 1 week from now, if you're watching this in real time, the wood will be dry out of the vacuum kiln, which is pretty exciting.
All right, and the round maple table, we had it on the CNC cut. We sanded the bottom, we sanded the top. Now all we have to do on this, because the customer's finishing it themselves, we just have to go around the edge, breaking the edges, because that's what they've requested. And we're just gonna go over the top, make sure we've hit all the little bug holes, all the little defects, and they're filled, and it's ready to go. So when the customer picks it up, they can just jump right into finishing and then it's done. All right guys, and as you can see, with our maple piece, we have filled up the epoxy to the top. We've done our second layer on there. Now when we poured it, it was when that first layer still had a little bit of compression in it. It wasn't completely solid. So what that does for us is it allows that chemical bond of the 2 layers. If it was hard, for example, what we would have to do is we'd have to scuff it. So then it gets that mechanical bond. So everything's looking great with this. You can still stick your fingernail in a little bit. You can leave a fingerprint, which is that's the stage it was at when we did this top-up pour. So we're gonna wait a couple more days for this to cure, really come to that high 70s, low 80s on the durometer. We're going to deform it, then we're going to CNC flatten it and go through the process and steps of making this finished table. All right, so we're back at this table. We have our C channel installed. The next step for this is we're going to be building legs, which they're just going to be square walnut legs. You can see we've got a decent gap between the end of the table and the C channel, which the reason we did that was to accommodate for the opening that we're leaving. Now the legs, they're going to tuck in right to the inside of it. So we're going to build those. Followed by that, we're going to be flipping the table over. We're going to go through all our final sanding, and then we're going to be applying our Rubio monocoat. All right, and what we have here is the 4 legs, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going on the UK table. We're going for a nice subtle look on the legs. They're just going to be square. We got some walnut, some pretty cool grain. Got some sapwood included there. So you can see the ends, there's a little bit of cracking. So we're going to fill that with epoxy. And then we're going to put some flat bar on the top so they're mounted super strong to the table. So the idea behind these legs is we want the primary focus on the table. Everyone's got different preferences, what they want eyes drawn to. In this case, we just want nice subtle legs and really that emphasis on the top of the table. All right, and another thing we got going on in the shop right now, we got lots of projects, so lots of variety of things. This is the Mappa burl table that we poured actually quite a while ago, and it sold a little bit ago, so we're just waiting for the base to come in. Good news is base has arrived. So we got our inserts in the bottom. We're just doing some touch up on the ends where we're going to stain it quickly with a Minwax stain. And we actually, not something we've really done, but we attempted it with this table and we were actually very happy with the result. We're doing a Minwax stain and we're going to let that cure. And then on top of that, we're just going to do the Rubio Pure to really seal it up. So this is, again, just getting touched up on the end. Then we're going to put it in a crate. It's going to be shipped all the way to Georgia. All right, and the base we just talked about in this video is going with this table. So, like I said, those were cutoffs from these slabs. Now the bottom's all done. We just need to finish the base. We got to mount it to the table so all our inserts are in. Bottom sides are all done. C channels installed. Bases are in production. So we're at the stage now where James is going through the sanding. He's using the RO150. He's eliminating all wide belt marks, all the epoxy touch-up we've had to do. So this is going to go through the final cuts of sanding. We're going to finish it up with the ETS sander at 220 and then apply the Rubio monocoat. So this thing's coming along great. And we're going to get finish on it next once all the sanding's done. All right, and we're back at the UK table. So this has been a fun one. You can see it's a really, really nice book match on it. Depending how you look at it, you can see a face in some of the details. This one we did the bow ties to fill in the cracks, and we did a nice contrasting wood. We used bird's eye maple for this, and we actually left the live edge opening open here. So really, really cool detail with it. This is gonna follow kind of the same path as the other table where we're doing the final sanding. We're gonna get it all the way up to 220, then we're gonna apply the Rubio monocoat. So we've got 2 tables here. They're following hand in hand with each other.
Oh man, were some beautiful tables. So we thought we'd reward the guys. We don't do it too often, but we should make a point of doing it a little more often. We had a little pizza party Friday afternoon. If you don't already make your own pizza, I gotta say you guys gotta try it. We got these little ovens from Pizza Q, get some dough from the grocery store. My wife there throwing on the toppings, and you get some fantastic, delicious pizza. About 5 minutes, 7 minutes to cook it up. So we had a pizza party on Friday, and it was fantastic. Thanks everyone for watching. This was another weekly vlog at Canadian Woodworks and Legacy Lumber. As you see, we work hard and we party hard too. Until next week, make it a great one.